1, 2, 3, 4, 500 Days of Summer. This movie was awesome. It was really, really good. Okay, I heard good things about it coming out of the film festivals, and it was doing really well as a limited release, so it got a wider release and came to my theaters this weekend, so I was really excited to see it. I went in the movie with expectations that were good, but I didn't think it was going to be absolutely amazing, and I was really, really surprised. This movie stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Zooey Deschanel. I think they're both phenomenal actors, and there was this weird sense of them actually being in a relationship that worked so amazingly well. There was a perfect hint of awkwardness and kind of love that was mixed in there that you could see between them in their relationships, and even just the way they looked at each other showed their ranges of acting and really made it so convincing, which I think notched this movie up, was seeing how well they worked together. One of the things I liked most about this movie was something that I heard a lot about, was that they had two different, on the same screen they had two different, it was split screen, and one box was showing you reality and one was showing expectations. It was after he had gone to a wedding and Summer invites him to a party, and it's after they hadn't seen each other in a long time, so he was hoping that his expectations would line up with reality. And as he goes through with what actually happens, they show you his expectations for what was going to happen and the reality of what does happen. The dialogue between them was actually really good, I thought, because it really advanced their characters, and there was a lot of character development here. I think it was a new director. It's not an amateur director, but they're new. And I'm not going to say unexperienced either, because when they show you, when you see this movie, it shows you that they have a revolutionary style of filmmaking. I thought that not necessarily the cinematography, but the actual filmmaking here, the editing was really great, from what I just mentioned. To also, in the beginning, I really liked they had two separate panels, yet again, showing both of them growing up, and how they had the two parentheses and it would scroll through the days and keeping your attention, not just going 1, 2, 3, skipping around back and forth, all over the place, but you could still follow because they would do days in relation to what had happened, and I thought that was great. And also how they, in the beginning, sometimes when they were talking, they would fade in from black and white to normal coloring, which I thought was just really cool. I was never bored at one point in this movie. It's only an hour and a half, a little over an hour and a half long, so there's not much room for boredom, but it keeps a steady pace, and it's a very enjoyable time at the movies, because they tell you flat out it's not a love story, and it's more than that, but all at the same time completely different. It's everything a romantic comedy needs, comedy and romance, and it was very funny. I was expecting it to be completely different in that sense. I think it would be more of a drama, but it was both. It had such a range to it, and it kept away from cliche, and there was no point where, not necessarily, it was like, oh, they wow moment, you didn't see it coming, but it wasn't exactly on track, not in a bad way. It just really, very good movie in that sense, how it just keeps you on your feet. One thing I have to say, it's not a complaint, it's something I noticed afterwards, that there was really no subplot here. It was really just about the two of them. There was this little thing about him wanting to become an architect instead of being in the just a card business. But that was very minor, so there was really no subplot. I think that helped the movie. It was too short for, if they had another subplot, it would just be stupid. But that's something I enjoyed about it. It didn't try to get too carried away with itself. So, after thinking about it, after I walked out of that theater, I knew this officially was my second, sorry, it still doesn't beat up, favorite movie of the year. I think it was absolutely amazing. It blew me away. I did not expect it to be better than Moon, The Hurt Locker, Star Trek, or State of Play, but it was. It was definitely better, and it's definitely my second favorite movie of the year. So yes, it is another 10 out of 10. This movie, this year has really surprised me with movies. So see you guys. Peace out. Great movie. Definitely check it out. It should be getting around to more theaters as time goes along. So see ya.